I did something in Detroit years ago. This movie, I can't remember, but it was with this, I thought it was this guy's name, a rapper, or he's a personality, 50 the Great. And the young brother that came to me, he was at a conference, and this guy stood up and he said, man, I don't watch nothing Cliff Powell does. All he does is little ass movies. He said, well, brother, I beg to differ. Mr. Powell came in and did my movie almost for no money, and that's why I'm here, help put me on the map. So, people are always going to criticize and say things, man, but I try to block that out because once you are in the public eye, you're going to be judged. And let me say this. A lot of times people judge you and they don't have the whole story. Like it's a nigga on IG that keeps running women are loose. Look at this guy running people. He doesn't even know the story behind the movie. I never read the script, you dumb I got to the set and I said, Ruben, I want to read this script. And then I said, I'm not touching that little girl. I would have never picked that movie for myself. So a lot of times people criticize and they don't have the information. This is the only business I know some people actually think you are the character, especially black people. And I'm saying that specifically black people. I was in a store a couple of weeks ago and he said, I don't want my kids to meet him because he don't do nothing but play and killing women in every movie. I'm like, dude, have you seen me play Martin Luther King? I just did a pastor last week on BMF. People got to do that research like you have. Do your research. I'm a character actor. De Niro and Pacino, Joe Pesci, they kill people in every movie. Oh, they're trained. I'm a trained actor and I should get the same respect that De Niro gets or Pacino gets or Joe Pesci or Morgan Freeman or any of those guys. We're trained actors. I'm a character actor. I don't kill people in real life. I'm not a gangster in real life. I've never been arrested, never been in trouble. I don't fight. I travel with security. And when I don't have security, I have my gun on me. Come on, man. It's time for people to do their research and give African-American actors their props. We are trained. Me, Sam, Denzel, Angela Bassett, Viola Davis. We are trained actors. Ving Rhames. We were all broke in 79. We are trained actors. And it's not real life. It's acting. And so we got to get past that. And you get criticized for what you drive, what kind of clothes you wear. It's a lot, bro. And I don't know how I handle it. I just try to keep it 100. They talk about you when you're poor, and they talk about who I was out the other day telling people about how embarrassed I was when I got my first little car. So I had to do another lecture. And I was so embarrassed. I called one of my friends. I said, I was afraid to go to my car because the car was so little. And I had some girls behind me. I thought they'd talk about me. She said, welcome to Hollywood. So now I'm driving a Mazda when I first got down here because I'm coming off of being homeless and lost 10 million. People didn't know that. So now I got two cars, one for my girl and one for me. And I'm driving a nice Mazda. It's a nice car. I thought it was a nice car. This guy said to me in Atlantic Station, he said, damn, man, I thought you'd be driving something bigger than a damn Mazda. I said, my man, I'm paying for two cars. I got $3,000 in car notes. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you a movie star, you got a little ass Mazda. So now I went and bought a $115,000 big ass Yukon XL. So I'm coming out the store, out of the watching the football game the other night. This guy say, yo, my man, why you in that big ass truck? Bro, you can't never win, especially with black people. I love black people, but I don't fuck with any IGGAs because they bring the race down, man. Stop that. I'm paying, my car note is $2,000. What is yours? And I got 3 cars, man. What are you talking about? It's just, I remember one time I was outside a club and this well-known actor, Malik Yorba's car came up. And this might have been a time he might have had his friends call or somebody, his antique car. This girl said, damn, all he driving is a little ass Bronco. I said, ma'am, you can't count that guy's money. She said, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Man, it's weird, bruh. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. It is weird being in the limelight and being judged on everything you do without people having the information. And it's not just black folks, but I've gotten it from black folks more than white folks. And I don't care wherever I go, whether it's a basketball game, a concert, it's always one hater that want to fight me or get in my face. It's been a lot, bro, that we can't talk about. I'm just trying to educate the public, man. Entertainers are human beings. We play characters. I'm trained like the greats, and I take pride in my work. I do a lot of maybe B, C list work because they're friends of friends. that held me down when I had no money. And I'm never going to forget any one of those people. It's easy to be cool when you got a lot of money, but it's hard when you broke and everybody's running away from you. You want to know how to get rid of somebody, give them some money. So I'm grateful to the people, Manny Haley, who hired me on music videos and gave me $1,500 back in the 1980s when I thought of $1,500 like $1 million when you're poor. So, y'all got to fall back a little bit, man. And one, give us the credit for being trained. And two, stop with your comments. One guy came to my page, and this really happened. He came to my IG page, and I'm going to stop after this. He said, I don't watch shit Clifton Powell does. All he does is and beat women in movies. His mother is a bruh. When I say I let that nigga have it to a point where it almost got personal, and my girl is like, you can't do that. I said, I can say what the fuck I want to say. You come on my IG page calling my mama. My mother committed suicide when I was 4, and they found her in the bottom of the Anacostia River. Don't you ever talk about my mama. It's real deep, bruh. It's real deep. And people are disrespectful. I'm telling y'all what really happened. I handled it. I let him have it. And if I say what I told him back, and then I say, if you want to come see me, come see me. Because I got an army behind me. But there was a girl on IG that got into a thing. They came to her house and killed her, bro. So being an entertainer has a lot of wonderful perks. But there's also a dark side to it that can be creepy. And that's why I got off IG. People are like, why'd you get off IG? Well, I kept calling the black Trumpers. That's one reason they put me off, but they deserve that. But to the majority of African Americans, I was on my way to do something one day, and the lady, I says, a couple of people in there talking about me. I know them from the past. She said, Clifton, 93% of the people love you. It's always going to be that last 3 to 7% of people who just don't like anything you do. And you just have to learn how to live with that. I just have a problem when it becomes almost like one guy came up on me in New Orleans, and he wanted to fight me with a group of guys. And then I got stopped in the bathroom one time. This guy stopped me at the door with about 6 niggas in the bathroom. He said, yo, my man, what you giving back? And they was shooting dice and snorting cocaine. And I stood my ground, but I was scared, but they didn't know. But he said, yo, if you hadn't answered the question right, nigga, we would have killed you. That shit's personal, bro. And this is all the stuff y'all hearing. This ain't no stories. This is real life things that happen. How you come to somebody's page and call my mother you cross the line when you do that, man. If you don't like my work, if you don't know the history behind Women Are Loose and some of the roles I played, why don't you text me and ask me? But to come to my page and call my mother and that she does all kind of oral stuffs with a penis, you can get killed for that. And that's how deep this gets when you're in the limelight, bro. And it's not that people can't get to you. That's scary. And I hope people understand out there, you haven't heard my story. This is just the beginning. I'm not even at the meat of it. I had a guy that wanted to fight me in New Orleans. And I was with a group of guys, and they stepped back and damn near everybody pulled their guns out and said, Clifton Powell is an icon, my man. If you got a problem, you better solve it or we're going to make you disappear. It's not a joke. And that's why a lot of times entertainers live in a big house, don't talk to people, travel with security, then you become snooty. It's weird, bruh. So it's always 3% of the people who may not like you. There's always somebody, male, female, black, white, Latino, Asian, that's a hater. But most of my haters have been black folks. When I was in the mall, Lenox Mall one time, these girls like, ain't you from the movie? I couldn't get it out fast. Yeah, that's why we don't watch your old shit ass. I'm like, really? I'm telling y'all real stuff now. Y'all might say, Mr. Powell exaggerating. There's nothing I said today or this evening that's an exaggeration. Has happened to me. And you got to learn how to handle it or you'll end up in trouble. You know? And we're not going to get into Puffy. But Puffy's dad was a gangster. And you know, when you start mixing that the intimacy with the sex and power, it's hard to handle, man. And I'm not condoning anything he's done, but I understand it all. I was right there. I just had a wake up call and I turned my life around. I had to get out of the fast lane. I hit rock bottom and I saw my life flash in front of me. And I haven't talked about that because I was on the move and I had to make a decision to change my life. I didn't do drugs, but I did enough drinking and gambling. And I used to travel, I used to have a lot of women. I was famous, and it's crazy, and it's a lot to handle. And so I don't condemn anybody that's made it and fell off, or made it and got back on and fell off again. As long as you don't stay down, you still in the game. So I'm blessed. I look at it all as a blessing, because I had a period in my life where I had to look in the mirror, and I thought I wasn't gonna make it, and I was like, I gotta make it. So that means I gotta bring it in. Go find that discipline that I had in the early part of my career. And the only thing that saved me is I didn't do drugs. So this is not an easy journey, man. And so we got to be kind to our entertainers of all colors, of all genders, and all races. We have to be kinder, and especially my people.